Hi everyone, it's Belle here, your high performance coach. Welcome back to another episode of Talking High Performance with Belle. And today I want to talk to you about something that comes up for all of us, especially as we head toward the end of the year. So whether you've had an amazing 2024 or it feels like a year of setbacks, one thing remains true. And that's the story that you tell yourself about your year and how that is far more important than the events that have actually happened themselves. So if you've ever felt stuck, held back, or just frustrated that you're not moving forward the way you'd hoped, this episode is for you. And I'm going to dive into 3 common problems that hold us back, both in our personal and professional lives, and more importantly, how you can rewrite your story to finish the year strong and step into 2024 with a whole new energy. So when we talk about high performance, there are 3 common problems that hold all of us back. And I've worked with many high performers from different walks of life and those also aspiring to reach high performance in their own life. And the 3 challenges are always the same. The 3 problems are fear, fatigue, and frustration. And these problems look different for each of us, but they tend to show up at the worst times. And they tend to show up right when we're about to break through to that next level, almost like a little test for us. So if we think about the first problem is fear. And this is probably the biggest one. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown. And these fears keep us stuck in our comfort zones, where growth is limited. So if you think about it, how many times have you held back from trying something new because the fear of what might happen is overwhelming, or the fear of the unknown just gets you, and so you're still stuck, or so you feel stuck. And I remember one of my clients, let's call her Sarah. She had the opportunity to apply for a major leadership position in her company, but instead of seeing the chance that was ahead of her, all she could focus on was the fear. What if I'm not good enough? What if they don't choose me? What if I fail? And this is a common problem amongst many high-performing individuals. And these fears are completely normal. We think often that as leaders, we need to have it all together. But no matter what position we're in, there are often fears that we face along the way, whether we choose to admit it or not. But fear is just a signal that something important is on the line and that we care. So with Sarah, was she able to go for it? Yes, she was. She got the position and now she's thriving. But it doesn't mean that she doesn't feel fearful, that she has all the answers. No, it means that when things do arise, she can recognize that it's fear that's holding her back. And then from there, she can decide how she moves forward. So that's the first problem, fear. The second problem is fatigue. So this is a really big problem that causes exhaustion, burnout, and it stops a lot of us from taking bold steps. So it might be physical fatigue where we feel tired, or it might be mental fatigue from constantly pushing ourselves or focusing on the wrong thing. It may be us not managing our calendar as well as what we could. Or it could be something that's popped up that we need to adjust to, and so we need to readjust other things. When you're burnt out and when you're fatigued, everything feels heavier and everything feels hard. So it's like trying to sprint through mud. It's a lot harder than what it should feel. And let's face it, we live in a world where being tired almost seems like a badge of honor, but it's not. It's stupid and it costs us our potential. So to overcome fatigue, we have to focus on recharging. I'm talking about sleeping, recognizing that we're doing things that are holding us back and that are making us tired. We need to maybe implement some healthier routines. Maybe we need some time for some self-care. For me, one of the simplest ways to shift my days when I'm feeling fatigued is to have an early night's sleep. And it could also be sometimes about changing routines and working smarter and being flexible in my thinking, going, this worked well last year, it's not working so well this year, something needs to change. So I'd encourage you to ask yourself today, where can I create space to recharge so I don't feel as fatigued as what I usually do? Or when I do feel fatigued, what's happened prior that maybe I need to tweak? So that's the second one. And then the third one is frustration. You know, that feeling of being stuck. Maybe you've been working on a goal for months and you just aren't seeing results. Maybe frustration comes in when it comes to self-doubt and you start questioning whether you're even capable of achieving what you set out to do. And I see this all the time with business owners. They show up, they do the work, and it can feel like nothing's happening. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of traction building. And maybe they haven't reaped the rewards of that yet. And quite often, this is where businesses stop instead of continuing. So frustration is often a signal, in my honest opinion, that we're close to a breakthrough. So it's a signal that maybe something hasn't worked and we need to change it. Or it's a signal that we just need to keep pushing through just that little bit longer. And it could also be a signal telling us that there's something that we need to adjust. So I'd encourage you to think about, if you're feeling frustrated, what is the reason behind that? I want to talk to you now about rewriting your story. And this is where the magic happens. And the problems, fear, fatigue, and frustration, they don't have to define your story. You have the power to rewrite it. You can turn fear into courage. You can turn fatigue into energy, and you can even turn frustration into fuel. And that should feel really exciting when you can recognize that. So how do you do that? The first thing is you need to face your fears. Ask yourself, what's one fear that I can face with confidence? Maybe it's making a bold move at work. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation that you've been avoiding. But every time you face that fear, you chip away and you gain a little bit of power. For Sarah, it was applying for the leadership role. For you, it could be taking a leap towards something you've waited a long time for. Or it could be just tweaking something in your diary, just to give you that opportunity to lean into the uncomfortable. That's the first one. The second way is to combat fatigue. When it comes to fatigue, it's about rethinking energy. What's worked in the past does not mean it's going to work now. So what routines or habits are draining you? Need to think about it and really recognize what is draining you and how can you prioritize renewing or recharging instead. Sometimes rewriting your story means rewriting your routine. Sometimes it's going to bed earlier. Sometimes it's starting your day with a morning walk or simply saying no to things that don't serve your goals. It could even be as simple as taking the glass half full approach instead of the glass half empty approach. And we all know some of those people, and it can be exhausting to listen to those stories. That's the second way. And the third way is to overcome frustration. Remember, setbacks are lessons. Every challenge brings you closer to success, where you can learn from it. So ask yourself, what's it teaching me? Why is it happening to me? Is not serving you. So shifting it to, what can I learn from this? And transform the way you see challenges. So as we prepare to move into 2025, I want you to think about one story that you're ready to rewrite. It could be around your career. It could be around your health. Or it could even be in a relationship that's close to you. The truth is, you hold the pen and you're the author of the next chapter. You decide how it goes. No one else does, you do. So what's the first story you're going to rewrite in 2025? So here's an everyday example that I hear all the time. Just to give you an example, I talk to individuals and teams, and there are some that always say, I'm not a morning person. So there's this story that's led you to struggle with productivity and energy all day long. And then you know that you could be better, but you tell yourself, I'm not a morning person. So what works for other people doesn't work for me. But what if you could rewrite that story? And instead of focusing on what you're not, focus on what you could be. You could start by getting up 15 minutes earlier each day. And you could spend that time doing something that energizes you. A quick walk, journaling, stretching. And that small change could completely transform your mornings. And if you transform your mornings, trust me, you transform your whole day. So as we close out 2024 and get ready for 2025, remember, you have the power to rewrite your story. The fear, fatigue, frustration that held you back before, they don't have to dictate how the rest of the year unfolds and how 2025 unfolds. You are in control. So take the first step today, and it could be as simple as shifting your mindset, reclaiming your energy, or viewing frustration as an opportunity for growth. So thanks for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone that you think would benefit from rewriting their story. And don't forget, your next chapter is just one choice away. Until next time, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to balance work and life? If you're finding it hard to excel in these areas, it may be time for a change. The Elevate with Belle membership offers a practical solution designed to help you regain control and achieve your goals. With this membership, you'll join a community of ambitious individuals committed to real results. Twice a month, you can participate in live sessions where you'll receive actionable strategies and insights to boost your productivity and work-life balance. And if you can't attend live, all the sessions will be recorded for your convenience. You'll also have opportunities to engage with guest experts and attend exclusive events throughout the year. If you're struggling with productivity, you can learn some effective time management techniques. If you're feeling burnt out, you can get some strategies for better work-life integration. And if you're lacking energy, I can help you with tools to help you stay motivated and inspired throughout the day. And this is just an example of some of the things we'll be covering. So if you're ready to make a change, then join the Elevate with Belle membership today and let's start achieving the results you've been aiming for.